keeping you informed, prepared, and connected. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay.
Good Monday morning to you. I'm Jenny Dean in for Jameson Euler. Today is December 2nd.
Alrighty, moving through the month.
Yes,
I'm Caitlin Lockerbie. You are watching 10 Tampa Bay. Thanks for waking up with us. Hope you had a great weekend. It is a very chilly start. If you haven't noticed already at home, because I feel like you can just feel it inside the house.
Yes,
already.
for sure.
If you haven't noticed it inside, you're going to notice it outside.
Yes, let's get over to meteorologist Mike Prangley. We actually have a frost advisory in Citrus County this morning.
In Citrus County, but we have frost as far south as Pasco County.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
pretty interesting there. You know, it's putting us in the holiday spirit, so I've got out the red
Waking us
velvet.
up.
And yeah, we're talking about our coldest weather since January. Thanks for waking up with us. And I know we're busy running around getting back in the swing of things this morning, so take it easy. We're going to get through this together. Keeping you warm this morning here on 10 Tampa Bay. We look outside. Hey, at least it's going to be a beautiful sunrise to enjoy, but we also have some wind chills out there. We're starting at 31 in Brooksville, 46 in Tampa, so even colder than we saw over the weekend with the lower dew points that moved in yesterday. There's that frost advisory. That's inland Citrus County off to the east of 19. The Prang Runner Index, a great 8 out of 10 for you. But yeah, I've got a little caution this morning with those wind chills in the 30s and then a brisk, bright day with highs in the low to mid 60s.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. Of course, we're starting to see some brake lights if you're traveling along I-4 now. You're looking in the eastbound direction, so all the headlights coming toward us, those are the ones traveling westbound, and that's where we're starting to see the slowdowns. That's where it typically does happen. But once you get into Hillsborough County, once you get right to I-75, you're still moving up to speed coming into downtown on I-4. Also looking good on I-275 southbound from the apex to I-4, moving right along. Starting to see a few more crashes popping up on our maps this morning, and just want to show you one that we had a little bit earlier. It doesn't seem to be causing any slowdowns. It's Berry Road at Bellingham Oaks Boulevard, and right now things looking good on I-275 coming into downtown Tampa. All your Bay Area bridges also still looking good this morning and up to speed.
Well, happening this morning, a major milestone in Pinellas County today, marking the beginning of the second and final round of debris collection for homeowners there.
Yeah, once those roads are cleared, the county says its contractor won't be coming back. 10 Tampa Bay's Eric Glasser live near Gulfport this morning with some important information about this. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, ladies. Yes, we're in this section of town this morning because the county tells me that this part of Gulfport, the unincorporated part, and also parts of Boca Ciega still haven't had their first round of debris pickup. But that should happen certainly by the end of this week. And today, as you mentioned, begins round 2 for the county. So here's how this second round is going to take place. The contractor will come through, they'll pick up the debris, and then behind them, there's going to be a second contractor who's actually going to be taking photographs of the streets in those neighborhoods to show that the debris has now been picked up, and then that's it. Beyond that, it's going to go back to normal. If you have debris, each of the residents is going to be responsible for that themselves at that point. This process, again, starting today, is expected likely to take through the end of the month. Reporting live in Gulfport, Eric Glasser, 10 Tampa Bay.
A live look at 6:06 this morning at the Capitol building in D.C., where less than 12 hours ago, President Joe Biden announced that he pardoned his son Hunter on federal gun and tax evasion convictions. The pardon comes despite an earlier promise not to interfere in the case. The president says his son was singled out because of their relationship, and he blamed political opponents in Congress for instigating the charges. Hunter Biden faced up to 42 years in prison for his conviction on felony gun and tax evasion charges. He released a statement saying he will, quote, never take the clemency he's been given for granted and will devote the life that he's rebuilt to helping those who are sick and suffering. Now, shortly after the pardon, President-elect Donald Trump released this statement on Truth Social, asking if the pardon included January 6th participants who have been imprisoned for years. He also called the actions an abuse and miscarriage of justice.
And this morning, Florida's influence in the next Trump White House is expanding. Over the weekend, President-elect Donald Trump announcing on Truth Social he's nominating Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Chronister to be the administrator of the Drug Enforcement Agency. In the post, Trump says Chronister will help secure the border and help stop the flow of fentanyl and other illegal drugs. Sheriff Chronister calls the nomination an honor, saying he's humbled by the opportunity to serve our nation.
Happening in just hours, looking ahead to the Christmas travel rush. Well, this week, AAA is holding a TSA pre-check enrollment event in Spring Hill. And you don't even have to be a AAA member to take part. Pre-check helps you skip lines, the long TSA lines. And the Auto Club does, though, ask that you pre-register on their website. Appointments are first come, first serve. The program is open to all U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents. The enrollment is at the AAA Spring Hill office on Pinehurst Drive. By the way, pre-check does cost $78, but it lasts you for 5 years. So for a lot of people, that's worth it.
Yes, it is a big help. I just like keeping my shoes on.
That helps too.
1 water for you, a gallon for the tree. All right, movie buffs, listen up to this. The Gotham Film Awards happening tonight. The event highlights the boldest films of the year, and you can watch it exclusively on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. Got to download it to do it. Get your front row seat to the red carpet to see stars like Zendaya, Nicole Kidman, Demi Moore, Timothée Chalamet, whole lot more. You can watch the Gotham Film Awards live tonight at 7 o'clock on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. Download it on Fire TV, Roku, or Apple TV as well.
I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds like a pretty cool event. While husband's watching Monday Night Football,
You get the red carpet, go to the other room. And,
exactly.
Yes.
All right, next on 10 Tampa Bay, one Bay Area county updating their wastewater system, and they want your input.
Yeah, how you can provide feedback this morning that'll impact your neighborhood.
Plus, the countdown is on to Christmas, and the holiday season just got a little brighter over the weekend. Ahead at 6:30, we're going to take you to the Riverwalk in Tampa for their tree lighting.
The Bucks won a crazy game against their divisional foe yesterday. Coming up, how the victory made their path to the playoffs a straight road.
And happy December 2nd, I should say. We've got our coldest weather since January. That's right, we got a hot chocolate advisory out there. And we are talking about polar air this morning. So for that bus stop forecast, take a little extra time to heat the cars this morning. Wait for the kids till the bus gets there, because we are talking temperatures in the 30s to the Nature Coast, officially 45 in Tampa. And then this afternoon, make sure the kids have the jackets. You don't want to leave those at school, with a chilly, sunny high of 65. Coming up, even colder weather on the way. We'll take a look county by county.
Weather impacts your life every day. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. You can find out about any change in the weather with our 10 Tampa Bay Plus app. Just stream for the latest forecast, any weather impact alert, updated tropics forecast, and take a live look at the radar. Anytime you want, and it's free. It's just one more way we're helping you stay informed, prepared, and connected. Stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
10 Tampa Bay with Jamison Euler, Caitlin Lockerbie, meteorologist Amanda Pappas, and traffic with Sarah Rosario.
Welcome back. Looking ahead to later this week already, Hillsborough County is going to announce its plans to update its wastewater system.
At this hour, there is a survey currently on the county's website where you can share your thoughts about the plan. Now, the plan's currently online, but county leaders are hosting public meetings on its 3 initiatives: a new wastewater treatment plant in the southeast area of the county, a new super pump station on Baum Road, and new pipes all around 301 to the new plant. If approved, the $671 million project will be finished by 2028. By the way, that hearing is Wednesday night at 6:30, and it's inside the Baum Park Community Center in Waimama.
All right, turning to your forecast this morning, you're going to notice it immediately as you step outside. You need the heat in the car, seat heaters if you have them.
Yes,
bundle up a bit. It is. Not just Florida cold. I'd say it's just cold.
It's just plain cold. It is. Yeah, not just Tampa standards. We're talking about our coldest weather since January 21st. So we've got that hot chocolate advisory. And our big weather impacts would not just be the cold weather, but that winter chill with some wind chills out there. So notice we've got the cold thermometer. Yeah, we're watching the pets, the people, and the plants in this pattern. Make sure the pets have a warm spot as well. And then there's the winter jacket. I had to find a bigger coat in my closet, and it took some time to find it because, of course, we had our warmest summer on record, but things have changed. So let's take a look outside. We're getting ready for a beautiful sunrise. The dawn's early light will come up. In fact, our sunrise officially at 7:05, but we do have wind chills right now. Notice 7 o'clock. So getting the kids ready for school. This is why I was saying maybe you want to wait with them till the bus arrives. It's feeling like 30 below freezing in Dade City, 32 Polk City. Most of us in the 30s, especially inland along the I-4 corridor. Even Tampa feeling like the upper 30s to low 40s. Bradenton Brr, 39 is how it feels when you factor in the wind. This afternoon, despite full sunshine, we're trying to get these temperatures to move. They're not moving much, are they? So low to mid 60s across the area from areas of Citrus County, Hernando County, back into Polk County, Sarasota and Manatee counties. And then this evening for the after school sports, oh yeah, we got to get the layers out once again and the cup of hot chocolate with temperatures quickly falling and feeling like the low to mid 40s. And then by tomorrow morning, we got temperatures widespread across the area, feeling more like close to freezing. And that includes some of our southern counties. So Riverview, Zach and Riverview feeling close to freezing at 34 as we wake up tomorrow. And it's all in response to a parade of polar high pressures. Pretty interesting. So here's 1, 2, they're all lining up. We've been tracking some of these cold air masses all the way back to Siberia. Okay, so think about that. Of course, by the time they arrive in Florida, they've warmed up a bit over the land, but we've had a Greenland block. Okay, so what that's doing is it's forcing the jet stream much farther to the south than we normally see it. And this block is likely to hold for much of this week before we start to see a modification of the air mass across much of the country. So as we look at our travel weather, the good news is polar air is very dry, right? We're tracking this from northern Canada and Siberia. So we're not looking for any big storm systems at this point, but the Great Lakes have seen some of that lake effect snow. Otherwise, pretty dry across the country and cold. Look at Chicago's high of 29. And the good news for travel weather, still busy today, but again, we have no delays with the green here. You see for today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. But do you see what I see, that trend? I showed you those highs lining up and moving our way to the south. Well, we got temperatures falling into the 30s. That's a low of 39 in Tampa. Not even talking about a wind chill by Wednesday morning. Could have a frosty start. Maybe some advisories as far south as Pasco County. So pretty big deal here. And we may have to issue a weather impact alert. So we're going to keep an eye on Wednesday morning. In fact, forecast lows as we head into our Tuesday morning. Tomorrow could even be a little colder than this morning. The low to mid 30s to the north. Tampa into the low 40s as well. But notice Wednesday, that'll be the coldest of this winter blast. That'll be Wednesday morning with widespread 30s and frost, and then a high of 66. And then if you're ready for warmer weather, I've got some of that for you. High pressure moves east, back to near normal Thursday, Friday, and much warmer this weekend with highs back up near 80.
A little something for everyone in that forecast. I love it, Mike. Thank you. Now we are starting to see a busier commute this morning. Keep in mind, everyone was off for the holiday week and it was pretty light traffic, and now we're back to it on this Monday morning. I-75 northbound, just past I-4. There's a car fire there, and it's causing some pretty significant slowdowns just till you get past it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the traffic maps, and I can show you what we're dealing with. So we've got a little smattering of accidents that are showing up on our maps. Let's start with this one here. You can see where it's causing the slowdowns. If you're going north on I-75 after getting off on I-4, that's where you're going to see the delays. But once you get past it, you're in the green, so it's not too bad. Another accident, this one on Causeway Boulevard near the Brandon Town Center. That could cause some slowdowns as well. And a new accident on Memorial Highway at Millwood Drive. So just watch out for that in case that is part of your morning commute. Things starting to stack up on I-4 as well. As you can see, the sun starting to rise there in the distance. If you're heading westbound, all those headlights coming toward the screen, that's where you're going to start to see the slowdowns. And as you can see, it's in the yellow from Lakeland all the way to the Selman connector. You're going around 45 to 35 miles per hour, but then it speeds up a little bit once you get to I-275, so not too bad through there. Caitlin?
Yeah, huge win for them last night. Remember last year, they were the best of the worst.
I know.
Lucky to be in a bad conference.
Go Bucks.
All right, get your credit cards out. Go shopping.
Yeah, why not?
Big deals today. It is Cyber Monday. This year could set a new spending record, too.
Yeah, it could. I had it 6 times. No, I'm breaking record spending my money.
Out. We're both helping out.
What items you're going to see the biggest discounts on is coming up at 6:30.
10 Tampa Bay Traffic is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. 10 Tampa Bay is sponsored by Integrity Home Solutions, where details matter.
Welcome back. In health news this morning, Canadian researchers say lung cancer screenings find coronary artery disease in more than 80% of cases. Those CT scans can identify the calcium, which is a strong risk factor for coronary artery disease, even in patients without cardiac symptoms. In almost 1,500 screenings from a pilot program in 2017 and 18, high levels of the calcium were found in 30% of patients.
Well, President-elect Donald Trump has chosen his former deputy assistant, Kash Patel, to lead the FBI. Patel has threatened to shake up the Justice Department. Current FBI Director Christopher Wray, a Trump appointee himself, must now either be fired or resign from his 10-year post, which is set to expire in 2027.
Right now, we are staying on top of a tragic weekend accident where a horse trailer was T-boned in a crash and then flipped over.
Yeah, this was really sad. These are those horses that you see that going through the water on this side of the road. Yeah, ahead in our next half hour, how Florida Beach Horses is handling the tragedy this morning.
10 Tampa Bay with Jamison Euler, Caitlin Lockerbie, meteorologist Amanda Pappas, and traffic with Sarah Rosario.
Welcome back on this Monday morning, December 2nd. Hope you had a great weekend. I'm Caitlin Lockerbie.
I'm Jenny Dean in for Jamison Euler. And of course, it is chilly outside. If you have not stepped out to walk the dog or take your run, you need to grab the jacket. So let's get a check of your forecast this morning as you head out the door with meteorologist Mike Prangley joining us in your lovely velvet this morning.
That's right. We're in the holiday spirit with our coldest weather since January, and we're going to seize the sunshine together this morning. We've got polar high pressure in control. This air has come all the way across from Siberia, northern Canada, and it's made it into Florida. So that's why we haven't seen anything like this for almost a year. And we take a look at the golden sunrise about to happen. So this air is very dry. It's rare air, so it doesn't hold much moisture. So we just got this beautiful glow in the sky. Sunrise 7:05, waking up to 45 degrees, but it's colder a little farther north. 40 in Port Richey, 31 in Brooksville, and there's that 32 in Crystal River, where we still have those frost advisories through 9 a.m. For areas to the east of Highway 19. So there's Citrus County with the advisory. Next 6 hours, we're going to slowly warm up. Make sure the kids have a warm ride to school with highs in the low to mid 60s. Some more Siberian air on the way. We'll track that together coming up.
And grab the hot coffee, not the iced coffee, as you head out the door this morning. You're going to need to warm up when you get in your car. And you could be in for a ride. There are some slowdowns along our highways. This is I-75 northbound, just north of I-4. There's car fire, so it's causing some delays. And we've got quite a few little accidents just popping up. Remember, this is the first day back since a holiday week. So, you know, people are, there's a lot more people on the roads than you were used to last week. Let's just say that. So you're going to see a bit of a delay as you get past that car fire. A couple of new accidents. US 301 at Clinton Avenue. That just popped up on our maps. Another one at Causeway Boulevard at Brandon Town Center. And that doesn't seem to be causing too many delays, but this on Memorial Highway at Millwood Drive also popping up on our crash maps as well. Starting to see a lot more volume heading westbound on I-4 into Tampa as we get a nice look at that beautiful sunrise yet again.
Well, a big story that we are staying on top of this morning, and a tragic one. A business known for scenic horseback rides out on the beach facing an uncertain future right now. A trailer filled with horses was T-boned in a crash. It flipped over. One horse was killed. 2 employees had to be rushed to the hospital.
Just thinking about this entire crash is just so sad. 10 Tampa Bay's Nick Valtoro spoke to the folks from Florida Beach Horses about how they're handling this tragic collision.
All right, Cyber Monday officially here, so you might be up adding to cart right now.
Oh, yeah.
We're already well underway. The National Retail Federation predicting around 72 million Americans will be buying into the deals.
And if you're one of those people, I know we are, you can expect to see some discounts. Adobe predicts Americans are going to spend just over $13 billion, which is up 6% from 2023. Analytic experts say some of the biggest discounts will be for electronics and apparel. More shoppers are even relying on AI to get ahead on those deals.
Actually seeing across all of our data, across every sector, we're seeing that more and more people are finding websites through generative AI technology.
And whether you're using AI or a classic search engine, you do need to remember Christmas is only about 3 weeks away. Where is the time gone? Now, if you want your holiday gifts to arrive by Christmas, then experts recommend shipping as early as possible because the deadlines are fast approaching. FedEx's cutoff for ground shipping is December 13th, while the USPS deadlines range from December 18th for retail ground and first-class mail to December 21st for Priority Mail Express. Postal Service officials say the key takeaway here, don't wait. Send your packages now to ensure a timely delivery.
Yeah, I feel like it's a blur. Between Thanksgiving and Christmas is always just...
It really is.
Lightning speed. If you are shipping anything internationally, listen to this. The U.S. Postal Service has temporarily suspended mail. The service to Canada comes as the country faces an ongoing national strike by the Canadian Union of Postal Workers. The strike started back on November 15th and involves approximately 55,000 postal workers in Canada. They've been in negotiations for nearly a year with Canada Post. The USPS says they're monitoring the situation. They're going to continue to update customers until things get back to normal. Canada Post warned that in addition to current delays, processing and delivery could require significant time to return to normal once the strike ends.
All right, well, let's get into the holiday spirit here because families gathered all around the Tampa Riverwalk for the annual tree lighting ceremony last night. The event featured a performance of the Nutcracker, bright lights, and of course, St. Nick himself making an appearance. Mayor Jane Castor actually flipped the switch on that city's 35-foot Christmas tree. Castor hoping this event brings joy to so many people following a brutal hurricane season.
I'm born and raised here. I'll be 65 in a couple of days, and I've never seen a hurricane season like we endured. But it just really showed what's so wonderful about Tampa, the way that we all came together, neighbors helping neighbors.
I tell you, there's nothing like walking along the Riverwalk on the Christmas season with all the lights out on the river and in the parks. It's so much fun. And the city says this is just the start of their Christmas festivities. This upcoming Saturday will be Tampa's Santa Fest, which is at Curtis Hickson Park. And of course, they have Winter Village there with ice skating rink in Curtis Hickson.
Yeah, ice skate in Florida. Usually it's tough to keep it all frozen out there, but I think our temperatures this morning
they're doing fine this week.
Yeah. Happy early birthday to Mayor Castor, too.
All right, your time now is 6:40. The busiest days of travel this year finally wrapped up.
Yeah, in minutes, a new record TSA is releasing this morning. Before we let you go, taking you outside this morning over our 10 Tampa Bay station here. Sometimes you'll see eagles nesting out there. Get the sweater this morning because it is sweater weather. Very chilly out there. I'd say it's jacket weather this morning.
Award season kicks off with the Gotham Film Awards. Join us for a celebration of the boldest films of the year, highlighting groundbreaking independent voices, performances, and creators. Get your front row seat to the red carpet, featuring stars from Angelina Jolie to Timothy Chalamet and many more. Be the first to discover must-watch movies for your binge list. Join us for this exclusive live event. Watch the 2024 Gotham Film Awards live Monday, December 2nd. Stream it only on Plus.
The food scene in Tampa Bay is hot, with new joints opening all the time.
We take you into the kitchen to talk food and show you the best of what the Bay has to offer.
Watch Great Day Dining Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on Great Day Live.
Well, some travelers who took the whole weekend to enjoy are heading home from the Thanksgiving holiday this morning. And we're getting new information from TSA. The 10 busiest days in its history have all come this year alone. Passengers packed major airports nationwide. FAA says there were 232,000 flights last Sunday through Thanksgiving, which is an all-time high for TSA and the lowest number of delays, just 1%. Tampa International Airport saw 85,000 passengers Sunday alone. Watch out today because winter weather temperatures are here, but also winter weather is hitting parts of the country right now. Some areas getting pummeled with snow.
Right. Luckily, just confined to those Great Lakes snow belts. And sometimes you get these snow bands that are only 10 miles wide. Okay, so for us, if you're traveling, the one thing we're seeing on in our roadways is those little tire pressure things. Little horseshoe things.
Oh,
the lights are coming on my car, and it's
driving me crazy every time I get in. I'm like, what's wrong with my car?
I know.
Well, let's take a look. We can blame the cold weather.
Okay, let's do it.
For every 5 to 10 degree temperature drop, the molecules start to slow down. So what that does is it causes that pressure light to go on. And when we have our normally warmer weather here in Tampa, you've got the molecules moving faster. That's why we get the warmer temperatures we show, and you get the higher tire pressure. So as we look at what's happened, there's our car here. We've got the drop of at least 10 degrees. Remember yesterday we were in the 60s. This morning, most of us waking up in the 40s. There's that drop of 1 to 2 per square inch drop there. So there's your check tire pressure light. Usually you'll be fine, okay? It'll actually sort itself out as we warm up, especially by later this morning and this afternoon. But then tomorrow morning, don't be surprised to see the old horseshoe symbol come back up on your car. In fact, the reason for all of these symbols and these warnings maybe coming up on our car and our travel weather, well, we've got our coldest weather since January 21st. So we got the big cup of hot cocoa out this morning with some big marshmallows trying to stay warm. The good news, if you're flying, okay, we've got good weather flying out of Tampa and Pie, and really for most of the country. That's just not for today, for our busy travel day, a high of 66 sunny degrees. But look at Tuesday, Wednesday. But notice what I have here. I've got wind chills as we start tomorrow, even colder with another cold front coming first thing tomorrow morning, a high of just 64. So we'll drop the temperature a little bit. And then Wednesday morning, the coldest of this polar blast here, a frosty start, maybe as far south as Pasco County, maybe inland Hillsborough County. All right, so we're going to watch that for maybe an advisory, a high of 66 during the afternoon. So here's our quiet travel forecast, because these polar air masses are very dry. They originate up into northern Canada and really have been tracking this all the way back to Siberia. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's look at the big picture. Here's Greenland. We've got a big ridge over Greenland, what we call a North Atlantic oscillation, a negative North Atlantic oscillation. So for winter weather lovers and snow lovers, we like seeing that big red over Greenland, the high pressure system. What that does is it forces the polar jet stream unusually far south. Look at this, coming right down to our neighborhoods here in Hillsborough County. So that cold air coming straight from across, yes, Siberia, northern Canada, right down here into Tampa. Now, luckily, we're so far south it modifies and it's not quite as cold as what we see in Siberia, but we feel it. You'll feel that chill this morning. And if we can see that flow coming out of the northwest that I showed you here, up at 5,000 all the way up to 30, 40,000 feet, this will continue for the next couple of days. So get used to things like this. We've got that frost advisory for areas of Citrus County until 9 a.m. That's to the east of Highway 19. Freeze warnings, that includes Alachua County. All right, so I'll check on my daughter there in Gainesville this morning, up to Jacksonville, the west side, and Brunswick, Georgia. So notice the whole state feeling this chill. 33 right now in Jacksonville to just 46 officially in Tampa. But you know what? It's going to be a beautiful day. We're seizing the sunshine. We've got a beautiful sunrise. And as we wake up, middle 40s, okay, for Tampa, but let me show you this. We'll have that full sunshine. We will warm up a bit this afternoon into the mid 60s. If you're looking for some normalcy, all right, that Greenland block I showed you will slowly ease up a bit and help us out. All right, so we'll see temperatures back near normal, low to mid 70s Thursday, Friday. And for the weekend, there it is, a little beach weather. I know Jenny Dean may want some of that. It's a little pool weather there for you, Jenny, with that high back up near 80 degrees.
Yeah, it's hard to think about the pool when it's this cold outside, but I'll take it. All right, we do have some situations on the roadways in traffic, so I want to start with this one. This just popped up. I believe this is the on-ramp from Howard Armenia. This is 275, and it's fully blocked by that jackknife semi right there that's kind of wedged in to that on-ramp. So just be prepared for that. You'll probably see some flashing lights in that area. All right, let's head to the traffic cameras, and I want to show you cleanup is on the way in this is on I-75 northbound, just north of I-4. There was a car fire earlier, but there's still some residual slowdowns, so no worries really about that. But gosh, guys, we're starting to see a lot of accidents pop up. You know, it is like a Monday morning, but there's a lot more traffic on the roads than there has been the past week. There's that vehicle fire still causing those delays. A new accident on Sun City Center Boulevard at 301. It appears to be only causing some minor delays. We've got another fire reported. This is on Bowen Street in Pasco County at Beacon Hill Drive, so be prepared for flashing lights there. And an accident on US 301 at Clinton Avenue. So just lots of little accidents popping up, folks, and we're starting to see the regular slowdowns at some of our majors, I-75 through I-4 and I-275 and I-4 as well. So just be careful out there. Take your time. Give yourself some extra time this morning because you're going to need it. Well, still to come on 10 Tampa Bay, an important deadline is happening today following back-to-back storms.
10 Tampa Bay's Eric Glasser joins us live with what you need to know before debris pickup wraps up.
This holiday, help send care packages to our troops serving overseas. Support 10 for the Troops by donating these items at Sonny's Barbecue Restaurants, your local Elks Lodge, or at our studios.
Sponsored by the law offices of attorney Dan Newlin. 10 Tampa Bay is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Stay informed with news alerts that are sent right to your phone. Stay prepared for any kind of weather. Stay connected to your community. Download the 10 Tampa Bay app. Sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
December out there. I mean, my goodness. I mean, we've got 40 degrees right now in Port Richey, 41 in Trinity. No surprises. Our weather team has been tracking this air really since last week. We said the Siberian Express was on the way, but look, we got freezes up toward Brooksville, Crystal River, so throw on an extra layer. A bright sunny day, but highs only in the low to mid 60s.
Yeah, we have a lot happening in traffic this morning. I want to start with this. It is it's got 10 up above. There was a jackknifed semi. You can't really see it right there on the on-ramp onto I-275 from Howard, Armenia. So let's go ahead and take the traffic maps. That's not causing too much of a delays, but I-75 going northbound, still residual delays from a car fire that was there earlier today. I want to show you we're starting to see those regular delays on I-4 westbound heading into Tampa, I-275 southbound, and of course along I-75 as well. Here's your hot spots, I-75 southbound and I-4 westbound into Tampa. You're seeing your typical slowdowns, and that's a look at the sunrise coming up and the heavy traffic on I-4.
Well, happening this morning, a major milestone in Pinellas County today, marking the beginning of the second and final round of debris collection for residential properties.
Yeah, people are really looking forward to getting rid of it. And once those roads are cleared, the county says its contractor will not be coming back. 10 Tampa Bay's Eric Glasser live near Gulfport this morning with some important information about this. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, ladies. And yes, we're in this section of town because unincorporated parts of Gulfport, where we are, and also I'm told Boca Ciega still haven't had round one of debris pickup, but I'm told that will certainly happen by the end of this week. And then, as you mentioned, today marks the beginning of round two of that debris pickup for the county. The way that this is going to work is that contractor will come through, pick up the debris, and then there'll be a second contractor behind them. They will actually take photographs of the streets now cleared of debris, and then that will be it. Beyond that, it's going to go back to the way it used to be, where residents who need to get rid of that sort of stuff are going to be on their own. Again, the process starts today, and I'm told will likely take at least through the end of the month. Reporting live in Gulfport, Eric Glasser, 10 Tampa Bay.
All right, thanks, Eric. A Rays Stadium deal in limbo right now. The deadline to decide on that deal came and went over the weekend. And now the ball is back in the hands of the Pinellas County Commission. In a newly released letter, Rays president Matt Silverman says it's Pinellas County, not the Rays, that are falling short right now. He says the supplemental bond resolution that would have paid for the development should have been approved in late October before the election. He also says the team would not have gone forward with this project if a future commission had the ability to revoke the approval. He says the Rays fulfilled its obligations, and now it's up to the city of St. Pete and Pinellas County to follow through. And as the temperatures continue to dip, Citrus County opening a cold weather shelter, opening later tonight. It's going to be open overnight from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. Citrus County Transit is offering free rides to that shelter on South Suncoast Boulevard in Homosassa. Meals will also be provided there. You can go shelter officials needing some help from volunteers if you can assist.
All right, we are here for you. We're going to see you at 10:30 on our 10 Tampa Bay Plus streaming app with all the latest news, weather, and traffic.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Hope you have a great day. Stay warm out there.
Yes, please.
Can I call you then? She said.
10 Tampa Bay Brightside is sponsored by West Shore Home. Call for a free.
Continue with us and watch free now on the 10 Tampa Bay Plus app everywhere you stream. 10 Tampa Bay closed captioning is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Your latest forecast is always on 10 Tampa Bay Plus.